Hey guys, Miss Mato101 here, and welcome. I am currently doing a little experimental with this one, so it's bound to get a little dicey. Well, no pun intended, obviously. But this is GoFightPow, and I am currently doing card number 6 of my Spice Zone Federation. I was gonna hold off on actually doing anything regarding IFC until like card 7 for all my sectors, but I figured I might as well do something here. I'm planning on doing Spice Zone card 6, Fire Island card 6, and Industrial Lands card 6, and that will be before the Regional Rumble stuff comes out, and I'm gonna put a lot of focus into getting a lot of stuff for that, and I may run more cards in between then. I have all of my cards set up for card 7 that are not Spice Zone or Fire Island, so... Okay, enough with the preamble. Let's go and get to the show. So, I usually start off with doing some for Hype McCloud, and let's see what we do with him this time. So, Hype McCloud is going to make a fight a specialty match. So, looking at my cards here... Oh, jeez, I realized my problem when doing this. So I have a match between El Salvador's and Americas and the Magistrate. So what I'm going to do is I am going to make... Okay, so I need to write this down. Hype... announces... El Salvador Americas versus the Magistrate I probably could edit this out in hindsight, is a no DQ match. Alright, got that covered up. So, it's our second to last card of the match of the night, but El Salvador's Americas versus the Magistrate will be a no disqualification match. Thank you, Hype. You've done your part. Now let's go into our first match of the night. It is going to be... Oh, that's in there somewhere. It's going to be Rebel Montezuma versus Kraze, both from ICOF. So I recently made the decision to bring the ICOF characters into my IFC Fed and have the ICOF Island be a different thing entirely. I'm not sure what it's going to be yet. But, with that being said, let's go and see what happens here with these two individuals. Signs off, we have our fast forwards, and it looks like Kraze got his fast forward. Rebel needs to avoid a 1, gets a 4, that will remove the 1. And now Kraze will start us off in this match with a 23 corners clothesline, and Rebel Montezuma counters it. And he goes for La Tapasha, yeah? It's dodged. And the revenge... Kraze needs to avoid a 3 or a 4, gets a 5, that will remove the 3. And now, going to go for the La Tapisha. Kraze counters it into a Rumble rating, first one of the night. And it's going to be Rebel that gets the advantage with a Tope Con Hilo. Dodged. And that's going to be Rumble rating for Rebel Montezuma. And it looks like it's going to be Rebel that keeps control with the revenge. 3 or 4 gets a 5, that will remove the 4. And now Rebel Montezuma going for the Rebel Rack. And that's a dodge from Kraze. Rumble rating. And that's a 2 here. And that is going to be a 1. So that is Rebel Montezuma in control. Rumble rating. And Rebel Montezuma keeps control. Going for the South Rises again. Kraze counters it into the Rumble rating. And Kraze will keep control. And hits the Transvaal Penguin. Rebel needs to avoid a 3 or 1. Gets a 5. That will remove, cannot remove the 1. That will remove the 4 from Rebel. And now, Rumble Rain again. And Kraze will keep it going with Dog Bones to everybody. Montezuma counters it with the South Rises again. Hit. And there is the Revenge. Needs to avoid a 3 or 4. That was out of the ring. That's a 6. That will remove the 5. Kraze is definitely on the back foot here against Rebel Montezuma. Rumble rating. And that's going to be Rebel in control with the Revenge. 3, 4, 5. Gets a 5. He needs a 1 or 3 from the power play. Gets it. So he is safe. And that will remove the 2. And now, going to go in. The South Rises again. Hit. Rebel Rack locked in. It's dodged. And the Revenge needs to avoid a 2, 3, 4, 5. Gets a 6. That will remove the 6. Kraze is in serious trouble. Can he come back from this? The South Rises again. It's a hit. And that is Tapisha. Kraze counters. And he hits Dog Bones to everybody. And that's a dodge for Rebel Montezuma. Transvolt Penguin needs to avoid a 1, 3, or 4. Gets a 4. He needs a 3. Doesn't get it. And that is Kraze getting the W over Rebel Montezuma. A huge win for Kraze, moving himself up the ladder. So Kraze... Rebel Montezuma. And he had 2 fatigue with evolved Penguin. I'll make a note here that that was the guy's finisher. I'm gonna do more, obviously, once I figure that out, but congratulations to Kraze once again for a huge dub. That'll move him up the ladder to challenge for the Rising Spirit Nature title sooner rather than later. Now we go to more singles actions. We have Don Chipotle taking on Ravi Shing. Here we go. And it looks like, oh, Don Chipotle, oh, they both get their fast forwards. Don Chipotle's is a dose, so we're going to roll both their pops. Don needs to avoid a 4. Ravi needs to avoid a 2. And that is a 2 for Ravi. He needs a 1 or 6. Doesn't get it. And that is a quick match. So that is Don Chipotle with the win. So Don Chipotle defeats Ravi Shing via fast forward. And I will put in double fast to show that both rolled their fast forward at the same time, which you guys are seeing here, obviously. Well, it actually is kind of hard to see now that I think about it, because I can't really, like, zoom in with this setup. If I did that, then I'd lose out on some of the things, like, on the side. It would make the cards easier to see looking at it. Yeah, it's a weird dichotomy, I will say. So it's something that I'm definitely going to look into with this over time. I may try with this setup, see if this helps with especially viewing. It's not going to show like anything on the right, so anything to the right of the card here won't really be seen. And if I tried moving it to the left, it won't really work, so that's why I actually do the zoom out to begin with. Anyway, besides the point. Don Chipotle wins. Now we get to some ladies action as Punkin Spice will take on Evil Mendes. We're gonna see what happens here, and it looks like that is Pumpkin Spice's fast forward, so Evil Mendes needs to avoid a 4, gets a 1. That will remove the 4. Pumpkin Spice will go for the Cauldron Clamp, and that's a pop. Needs to avoid a 4, gets a 4. She needs a 1 or a 3, gets it. Power play saving her there, and that will remove the 1. And now gonna go for the Smashing Pumpkin. Needs to avoid a 1, 4, 6. Gets a 4. Needs a 1 or a 3 again. Gets the 3 again. And that'll remove the 6. So the Smashing Pumpkin will not get that much powerful this time. Rumble rating. I have no idea what I'm saying when it comes to that. But Pumpkin Spice does get the advantage with an All Hallows Eve drop. Pop again. Needs to avoid a 1, 4, 6. Gets a 4. Needs a 1 or 3. Doesn't get it. That is the win for Pumpkin Spice, who had it from the get-go. So, Pumpkin Spice defeats Evil Mendes. Put the number of fatigue she got. And I realize now that I need to zoom out just a smidge more. There we go. That should do it. I'm sorry for altering this so much. Via All Hallows Eve drop. And that's 3 matches done. Let's get in touch with our lovely interviewer friend, Scoop Muldoon, who's going to have some things to say. So let's see what happens with Scoop Muldoon. Scoop Muldoon says that Scoop reports that a loser leaves sector match is scheduled tonight. The next week, a mysterious Maxman appears. This sets up a bounty fight for the next big event. So, yeah, we're just gonna go and make this a loser leaves sector match as well, I guess. So we'll have Scoop reports that no DQ match is loser leaves sector. Alright. So, big news coming in there. So, not only is that match a no disqualification match, it's also a loser leaves sector. Now we go to our next match. It is Caballero de la Muerte versus Tito. And it looks like Tito is going to be starting this match in control with the Nuclear Meltdown. Needs to avoid a 1, 5, or 6. Gets a 4. That removes the 1. Tito going for some cake pops. Those are dodged. Top rope splash. And Caballero counters with a side strike drop kick. And that's hit. Rumble rating. And Tito wins that. And Tito going for the Nuclear Meltdown. Gets a 2 that will avoid the pop for now. And let's see what is added. The 3 will be added to the pool. Nuclear Meltdown again, 2 again. And that will remove the 2 this time. So Tito in control here. Cake pops. That's dodged. Chokehold needs to avoid a 3. Gets a 6. So the chokehold will not lead to a disqualification. Corner smash. And it's a pop. Needs to avoid a low. Gets a low. Needs a 2. Gets a 2. And that will remove. We're looking for 4, 5, or 6 here. If it's 4, then that could be trouble. It's a 5. Top rope splash. Blocked. Cake pops. Hit. Cake pops again. Dodged. Nuclear Meltdown needs a 6 to stay alive. Needs a 1, needs a 2, gets a 2. Looking for 4 or 6 here. And this is, I will be honest, one of the parts of this that I'm not really like the biggest fan of, but I get it. And that's the 4. So Nuclear Meltdown will guarantee a go to the power play. Pop needs a 6, gets a 2, needs a 2 now, doesn't get it. Tito, gosh, I'd say Tito completely destroyed Caballero. So Tito has defeated Caballero de la Muerte. Alright, so now we have that set up. And now we have Loser Leaves Sector coming up. We have... Would you believe me if I told you this wasn't even the main event? Probably not, but at the same time, we're doing it anyway. So it's a no disqualification, loser leaves sector. Very rarely does this happen in Spice Zone. So consider this a novelty. And it looks like the Magistrate's going to start things off with a guilty verdict. Needs to avoid a 4 or 6. Gets a 5. That will remove the 4 for Salvador Americas. There's a Rumble rating. Salvador will get control. Go for Rumble rating again. Salvador gets control with a La Flashana. It's a hit. Charging dropkick. Magistrate counters it into the long arm of the law. And Salvador counters that into a Rumble rating. We're back here again. And Salvador Americas will get control with a Spanish hammer. 1, 2, or 3. It's a 3. He needs a 1 or 5. Doesn't get it. And that is Salvador Americas taking the Magistrate out and sending him out of town. So Salvador Americas defeats the... Oh, right. 1. Defeats the Magistrate. Via Spanish hammer. Alright, with all that said, it is now time to say goodbye to the Magistrate, as Salvador Americas has taken him out of town. Well, sort of. We'll see how that goes. Alright, with that said, it is time for our main event. This one is a tag team match, or a duos match, as technically it's called. So let's get our 8-sided dice ready. It is La Estrella Negativa and El Hijo de los Negativos. I honestly don't remember their name right now, but they are going to be facing off against Azteka and Zero Phear. Guys, they're clearly based on the Lucha Brothers. I don't even think that would be like a controversial statement. And now, Estrella Negativa and Azteka will start things off. I usually use the top to start off. And that is going to be La Estrella in control. And that's double negative influence, so that technically be positive? Needs to avoid a 1, 2, or 3. Gets a 7. That removes the 2. And now, keeping it going with negative influence. And that's a 1, needs a 1, 7, or 8. Gets a 7, so he is safe. Can't remove the 2. That can remove the 6, though, so safe there. Palm thrust. Azteka counters it into a running Luchasaurus. And that's a pop. Needs to avoid a 3. Gets a 5. And will gun tag in Zero Phear, who hits the Phear factor, so needs to avoid a 3 twice. 8 and 6. That will remove the 4. And there is the Phear factor Azteka splash combo. Needs to avoid a 3, 4, 6. Gets a 5. That will remove the 1. Dasha Negativa really on the back foot here. Phear factor again. Gets a 6. That will remove the 5. He needs a tag sooner rather than later. Well, he's not going to get it here, as he's going to get Azteka in for the Azteka splash. It's a 3. He needs a 5, 7, or 8. Gets the 7. So needs to... And that's a 6 removed. Zero Phear coming in. Phear factor. Gets a 1. Needs a 5, 7, or 8. Gets a 5. And that's all the fatigue tokens on the Estrella Negativa. And that's going to be a Nightmare Kick. That tags in El Hijo de los Negativos. But he's going to get hit with a Phear factor. Needs to avoid a 3 or 5. Gets a 6. That will remove the 5. And Nightmare Kick. Blocked. Sling Blade. Blocked. And there is the Phear factor again. Needs to avoid a 3 or 5. Gets a 2. That will remove the 1. And now Phear factor again. Gets a 6. That will remove the 6. So the Azteka splash won't be as potent. Fearless dive. Negativos counters. Finally getting some offense going against Zero Phear. Enziguri. Azteka comes in with a victory roll. And that's dodged by El Hijo. And they hit the negative influence again. Needs a 2, 3, or 6. Gets a 6. Needs a 1, 7, or 8. Gets a 7. So, Azteka is still alive in this match somehow. And there is the double negative influence. Would that technically be positive influence? Anyway, 4, 5, 7, or 8 are what save him, and he gets a 7. Can't remove the 6. Looking for a number to remove. That will remove the 5. And there is the double negative influence again. 7 again. 3 or 4 is what we're looking for here. And Azteka not doing too hot right now. Cradle DDT. Azteka counters it. Much needed. And he hits the Azteka splash. Needs to... El Hijo de los Negativos needs a 2, 3, or 4 to stay in this match. Well, a 7 and an 8 too. It's a 3. That removes the 4. Gonna tag in Zero Phear. And they hit the combo. Phear factor Azteka splash. It's a 7. That will remove... Can't remove that. Looking for 2 or 3 to remove from this. And this is the most tedious part, unfortunately. At some point, I'm probably going to just go to a D. I'm probably just going to go to a D6 so I have better odds of actually hitting one of them. Oh, there we go. So 2 there. And now Zero Phear going to keep the offense going with the Fearless Die. And that's a hit. Zero Phear keeping it up with a shotgun dropkick. And that tags in La Estrella Negativa on offense. Air Amethyst dodged. Gonna tag in Negativos. And that's a rumble rating. Not a wise idea. He keeps it. Negative influence. Needs to avoid a 3 or 4. That is out of the ring. Gets a 2. That removes the 4. And I think I'm going to need more dice to represent. So I'm going to get the rest of the dice out from my fabled dice box. So they're all on the side. Back to this. For Cradle DT, Zero Phear counters it into a shotgun dropkick. And that tags the Negativa on. And negative influence. Needs to avoid a 1 or a 4. Gets a 1. Needs a 4, 5, 7, or 8. Gets it. And that puts him on offense. But first, we have to see which number we're removing. The 1. We're going to attack. Zero Phear coming in. Shotgun dropkick. Pop. Only a 7-8 keeps him alive, and it is alive. So that's going to go and put that here. We'll put that there to kind of represent the 7. And there is the rumble rating. And that's Zero Phear in control. Tag in Azteka. And the Azteka splash. Only a 7 and an 8 keep him alive. Need a 5, 7, or 8. Gets the 5 again. And that's an 8th pop survival for La Estrella Negativa. Zero Phear coming back in, and there's the combo. And he's still alive! That is insane! Keeping the combo going. Sling Blade. El Hijo de los Negativos in control with a victory roll. And that's a dodge. And there's an Enziguri. We are getting to the nitty-gritty here. There's a hit. Rumble rating. And that is going to be Zero Phear in control. Going to hit a Fearless dive. Negativos counters it. And the negative influence, 1, 3, or 4, gets a 2. That will remove the 3. And now, oh, there's the positive influence. Or I guess that's what it is. Double negative influence. Needs to avoid a 1, 3, or 4. Gets an 8. That will remove... Can't remove the 3. That will remove the 6. Making that a potential number. Rumble rating. And that is going to be Negativos. Positive influence or double negative. It's a 5. He's still alive. Needs to avoid. And we're looking to see what we remove. 2 or 5. 2 or 5. That's what we're looking for here. Gotta follow the rules, man. When it comes to this. Well, at least my rules. You can play however you like. I guess when I'm here... Oh, there we go. There's the 5 removed from Zero Phear. Good grief. This match is getting intense. Power of Pixis. And that's the tag to Azteka. And there it is again. Only 7 and 8 keep Azteka alive. And it's exactly what he gets. Who is going to win this match? Negative influence. 7 or 8. Doesn't get it. Needs a 1, 7, or 8. And that is it. Oh my gosh, what a match! Whoo, boy! So, La Estrella. Negativa. That's 9 pop survivals. And El Hijo de los Negativos. They have defeated Ray, Azteka, and Zero Phear via negative influence. F. And mention who was the one who got it. Oh, that is going to be it, everybody. And we end it with La Estrella Negativa and El Hijo de los Negativos defeating the team of Azteka and Zero Phear in, I'd argue that was probably one of the best tag matches I've ever rolled in this game. Like, 9 pop survivals is insane to me. I'm not even exaggerating. If you guys enjoyed what you saw here, be sure to give a like. If you want to help me figure out this whole set, then definitely please help. I need all the help I can get, really. Because this setup is definitely something that I want to try to work with in the future. But, with that said, Spice Zone. that was Spice Zone card 6. I'll see you guys around.